Hello my friends and welcome to Campaigns as voted for by you. This time it's Xenonauts 2, coming a bit earlier than expected because Chaos Gate 98 ended pretty quickly. Not in my defeat, I might add. Spoiler alert. But because the game was just chronically unstable, it actually crashed in a way that was unrecoverable. But nevertheless, anyway, let's not talk about that, let's talk about this. So, Xenonauts 2, so I've beaten, it's not on this channel, but I've beaten Xenonauts 1 on Legendary. Or whatever the highest difficulty is, I forget, it's been a while. And Xenonauts 2 is, as far as I know, very similar. To Xenonauts 1. I did a first impressions of it, so I've got a vague idea of it, so that's not too much of an issue. Okay, so let's have a look at the difficulty settings. So, interestingly, some things on the highest difficulty make sense to me, like the lowest amount of starting funds, the highest amount of starting panic, some cut monthly funding. What's interesting to me is enemy quantity. This is not necessarily a bad thing for you, that there is way more enemies, because while this will add difficulty, it'll add difficulty towards the end of the game, I guess. When you face more high-level enemies, when you're most equipped to deal with them. And you could argue that it also adds difficulty right at the very beginning of the game, especially like the first couple of missions. One thing that this kind of backfires in a lot of these kinds of games is lots of enemies means lots of experience points and resources. So the additional enemies in games like XCOM, more often than not, they result in your victory spiraling out of control very quickly, because there are more enemies, so there are more loot and more experience, so you power way faster, which lets you run away with the game potentially before the game, can catch up. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on this and see how this affects us. Depending on how much resources we get out of this, it may offset this and this. Enemy accuracy 130%, that's obviously going to hurt. No chance of soldier survival, although it's only 25% on the lowest difficulty, so that's whatever. Tactical mission timers, -1 turn. Okay, that's not even the lowest setting, interestingly. UFO weapon damage 150%. I've always hated the air minigame in both Xenonauts 1 and I guess I'm going to hate it in 2 as well, we'll see. The last time so this is an early access game, so I don't know how it's changed since we looked at it. It should have changed a lot. Oh, we've got an intro now.
2009.
Alright, let's watch the intro.
The world is on the brink of nuclear war. Tensions between capitalist and communist nations. The opportunity for peace has failed, as if an invisible hand inexorably steers humanity towards annihilation. We Xenonauts know the truth. The dark forces poisoning our politics are not human in origin, and we must protect our planet against this extraterrestrial threat however we can. After years spent gathering information on an enemy that few believe exist, we are finally ready to strike back. The war for our future begins now.
I was going to fiddle with the audio levels there, but then I realised the game cuts the audio when you tab out of it, so never mind. I'll fiddle with the audio. Actually, it looks okay. It's just that my voice appears to be a bit low. Forever audio problems. It's because every game kind of interacts with your system slightly differently. And also, there are many games and programs that fiddle with your volume settings without asking you, which is infuriating. Okay, hopefully. Hello. Okay, that's fixed it. How annoying. Okay, right, let's carry on. It was only slightly out anyway, but that's fixed it. Ah, Commander, good of you to finally make an appearance. Welcome to our backup facility. I had a command room and a cache of emergency supplies installed a while back. No getting around the fact that our new home is a derelict nuclear bunker full of 60s era junk. Hope you're fine with cold showers, cold food, and cold everything. That's hardly our biggest problem. Our recent studies suggest once estimated mass is factored in, extraterrestrial activity appears to follow a mathematically predictable pattern. More precisely, exponential growth. And we're nearing the end of the curve. In plain English, the UFOs in our skies will soon begin to increase rapidly in size or quantity. I doubt it'll be long before the aliens launch a full-blown invasion. Great, as if things weren't bad enough already. How long do we have? Weeks. A couple of months at most. I suggest you make the most of them. Okay, first base. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 funding regions, it looks like. So usually you want to protect either the US or Europe. However, I have always put my base like this. Down in Africa, because it allows you to protect the most gratuitous amount of space. Okay, I think that's about perfect. One annoying thing in Xenonauts 2 is that the timer doesn't pause unless you're in a menu, which is kind of irritating actually. I don't know why that decision was made. Okay. One other thing about this game, I'm going to just spend the first episode really explaining all my early decision making because I think it's very important. It's important not to build too much because of the monthly cost of running everything. But this is a game of shooting down UFOs. The tactical battles actually matter a fair bit less than just making money, building bases, getting aircraft, and basically shooting down everything you can. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of RNG into where the UFOs appear, which can really ruin your day. So, we want another hangar. I think you could scramble 3 fighters against a single target, if I remember correctly, but we won't be able to afford 3 fighters straight away. We need another radar array so that we can see further. You want 3 radar arrays eventually, that will give you the full radius. You can be content with that if you wish. Can't remember if these have got a monthly maintenance fee. Huh. A medical center is plus 25% survival. Does that mean that if you get 4 of them, your guys will always survive unless they're jibbed? That's interesting. Let me just double check something. It's probably in the Xenopedia. Okay, why is the base structures tab grayed out? This is bizarre. I want to know if the generator came with a maintenance cost. Do we have like a finance panel? Ah, you'll see the finance panel at the end of the month. Alright, well either way, we are going to need another generator at some point. The real question is whether I want to build it straight away. We could. No. We could add another lab, but let's hold on to our coins for now. Or should we? Actually, do you know what? Adding a lab doesn't necessarily generate a problem for me. I will still have the 50,000. I will still have the 500,000 left that I need to purchase another fighter. Right. Soldiers. I might rename all of these to patrons, except ones that I fire, of course. Man, what happened to you? Did you eat too many burgers or what? 37 health. Okay, so the most important stat, in my opinion, early on is strength. The reason why is because strength allows you to effectively gain accuracy and hit points by having additional gear. Within reason. I mean, I think you can add 12 hit points by having armor, which adds weight to your character, and like 4 accuracy early on by adding tactical modules per module. I think they stack. Obviously, time units and accuracy are also super important. This person's strength is so bad that I'm not even sure that they can operate their weapon. It is a sniper though. And this guy's hit points are so low. Accuracy is also terrible. .60 turn units is nice, but this might be a huge liability. Alright, no need to dismiss just yet, unless there are amazing soldiers to replace. Wow, that is a nice array of stats. The health is a little low, but wow, he actually kind of looks like me. He actually kind of looks like me a little bit. Can we see the resemblance? Hang on. Can you see the resemblance? I just gotta put on some glasses. Do I have? I've got some glasses, but they help me see at great distances, so I don't wear them normally. Yeah, the health is a little bit of a liability, but the rest of the stats are fantastic, so we're going to take this guy. That accuracy is terminal. Poor reflexes and bravery, but a really nice spread of stats here. I don't know if this will become a liability later. You know, accuracy is normally a stat that's quite easy to raise. Same, better, 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 better. It's just the health, isn't it? +5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's quite quite a lot more stats here, apart from that health. We'll take these two. This guy. This is the guy with terminal accuracy. This guy might be okay if we come back to him with better armor or something to protect his tiny HP pool. It's either that or we just risk using him early. If he dies, he dies. Let's have a look at this soldier. Can you actually even... hold your loadout? Barely. Alright, let's take a character that's really good. And we will unassign you. Yeah, this is another character that's very good, and we'll unassign you as well. And this one. Alright, we're gonna take the bads. The first mission is always going to be an absolute fiasco anyway, so why not take all the bad characters, keep the good ones in reserve, and if we take some tragic losses, then who cares? Everyone will be a bit better after the mission, and any losses can be filled in by characters that, as you can see here, these are all really good. Comfortably high stats in every category, more or less. Some HP weakness here, but that's not the biggest deal. Right. Create a new loadout. Are these stackable? I've always wanted to know. Oh. Here we go. Nope. I think they used to be stackable. So we gain 4 accuracy for this, and I think we lose 3 accuracy for the armor. So an overall gain of 1. Right. No, not smoke. Flash. Flash. Okay. So this is the loadout I want everyone to have. And then what we will do is we will customize them based on how much equipment they can carry. Can worry about fixing these categories later. Okay, so for example, this character has very little carry capacity. Almost terminally low. So this will be a sniper, as the sniper is the lightest, as far as I know. The sniper is pretty much the lightest class. I'm not sure why a sniper magazine weighs 4 kilos. That is crazy. Or pounds, sorry. I guess this is in pounds. 66 kilos would be insane. But 2.2 pounds to the kilo, so this is about 30 kilos worth of gear. Which makes sense. The heavy armor probably weighs like 20 by itself, maybe a bit more. I don't know how much Osprey weighs, but I know it's heavy. It felt heavy when I was wearing it, let's put it that way. Right, I'm gonna make her slightly overweight here. I believe strength is actually gained 10 progress points for every one-time unit spent on movement while carrying over 80% of maximum carry capacity. Right. So that's our sniper. Who else has got very poor carry capacity? 76 is probably the lowest one. Guess we got room for a med kit. Wow, medkit's heavy. That'll do. All of them probably going to be like slightly overweight, so I can encourage the growth of their strength. Unfortunately, I think if you select a different loadout, then it's going to change it immediately. Who is my strongest? This guy. £16. 8 kilos for the grenades. Seems very heavy. Okay, that'll do. Who else is very strong? Kill the flashbangs. That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it'll do. Right, 2 modestly strong people we need. Some shield bearers. 50 weight for the shield. Hmm. That's the grenade launchers. What? 40. Oh well, I guess either way we're gonna have a struggle. I do need some shield bearers, so I'm just gonna have to live with this. Right, our mid-strength characters. I say that the assault rifle is probably one of the lightest weapons. Gonna have to take at least one mag. So the first mission will always be the hardest because Obviously, everyone's a bit fat or a bit overweight, and their stats are low. But as long as we come out the other side of the first mission, we can then get to work, and I can start making ideal setups without worrying about strength as being a massively limiting factor. Okay. You gotta remember as well, time units are not as important in this game as they were in other games, because shots require a percentage of your time units. As you can see here, 56% of time units or 70% of time units, which means that if you've got 30 time units, well, you're still going to be able to shoot, because it's going to take 70% of your time units. So time units, this is a system that the original Jagged Alliance used. Just a little factoid out there. The original Jagged Alliance had the same system and a complicated explanation about a fat police officer in the manual, which I read. That basically guns don't require more time to shoot. Like when you pull the trigger, an agile person doesn't make the bullet go any faster. It's in a way it's actually silly, because someone who is very quick will shoot faster than someone who isn't. And you don't have to watch Wild West movies to know that. Someone who is very confident, very familiar with the weapon system, you know, is at the range every day, is going to have that rifle on target and fired in fractions of a second, as opposed to someone who is not comfortable or unfamiliar, or, you know, even just competent but not like extremely competent. They're going to take more time to get the weapon up and aim the shot and all the rest of it. It's going to, you know, it's going to be slower. The pulling the trigger time is really not something you need to account for, unless you're trying to shoot somebody from 2 miles away. Okay, there is basically nothing to do in the airport right now. Nothing to do in engineering. You can't start building a fighter for your hangar until you've actually got the hangar. And this project is the only one available. So there is nothing else to do. Okay, and that's the setup. I hope we walked you through my thoughts and why I made the decisions I made. Obviously, I got money left. I could build more, but I'm not going to. Many people might stick down another... start sticking down training rooms, training centers. But they're very expensive, both in terms of power and cost. So we're gonna just have to live without them for now. Okay. I would go back to the geoscape, but that passes time, and I don't want time to pass right now. So, that is it for now. That is the setup. I hope you guys enjoyed this campaign. And let's see how it goes. Once again, this game is early access, so I've heard that it's in a good state. We'll have to see. Alright, see you guys next time.